I just love Booksnaps and love teaching them. What inspired the idea, and when did you know it was taking off?
Okay, so Booksnaps actually was inspired by my 15-year-old son. He absolutely loves Snapchat. And to be completely honest, as a mom, it was driving me bonkers. Like, he was on Snapchat more than I feel like he was talking to us face to face. And so I had told my husband, I was like, should we like limit his time with Snapchat? And potentially take it off his phone. Like, I was kind of to that level. And I never want to ban things out of schools. I always want to find a way to use it. If kids are loving it, I want to find a way to use it for learning. And so I wasn't exactly practicing what I preached at home if I were to take Snapchat off of his phone. So I got him to come downstairs. I was like, hey, Caleb, come downstairs and teach mom how to do Snapchat. And he's like, what? Like, you want to do Snapchat? So I was like, yeah, I think I want to use it while I'm reading my books. I can take a picture of my book, and maybe I can just pull out a quote that I love, and I can visually represent why I love it. And he was like, Mom, that is the ultimate nerd, but he ended up teaching me how to use it. And that was kind of the creation of Booksnaps. And then I started trying it with like annotation, like not only pulling out the quote, but seeing how that connected with something I was thinking or what I was learning. And before long, I just actually, within a couple of days, I just tweeted it out and I gave it a name, #Booksnaps. And I thought, who knows, like, this is fine. And I really just was doing it for myself. I didn't really think it was like this great idea per se. Just an edu hero of mine, he saw a few of my book snaps because they were of his book. And so he was like, this is a really cool idea. Like, I love this. What author wouldn't want their book to be book snapped? And it was October when Dave said, hey, I would like you to guest blog on my blog, guest post on my blog, sorry. And I was like, me? I had just started my website and it was so in its infant stages, which it still is a work in progress. But I was like, dude, I don't know if I'm good enough for a guest post, but you're welcome to like share the idea of Booksnaps like in your own writing. That would be fantastic. And he's like, no, I really want you to guest blog. And so it was crazy, but I wrote a blog and I shared a bunch of book snaps that I had made. That was a couple months later, so I had made tons of them by then. And he has 90 something thousand followers, and I had like, I don't know, 1,000, maybe 500. So he really, that guest post is what got a lot of eyes on Booksnaps. And it was really just him believing in my idea before I really believed that it was all that awesome.
In your bio for presentations, you mention individualizing adult learning and meeting them where they are. Do you have any special advice for working with teachers that are close to retirement and just not motivated?
Yes, that's a great question. I think being instructional coach for many years, and then now in my role as an administrator who works with coaches, so I mentor coaches, we are often working with teachers who are extremely enthusiastic and those who are, just as you suggested, near retirement, not motivated. When I find that for myself as a coach or when I'm mentoring learning coaches or instructional coaches, I think it's important that we go back to what it is that teacher, that individual was passionate about when they got into the career. Because let's face it, nobody gets into education and make near poverty wage because they just want to do that. Like, there was something that drove them to this profession a long time ago. And most likely it was their natural born strengths. So I think if we go back to what is it that you are naturally amazing at. And we start to help that teacher to not only rediscover that within themselves, but to help them to pattern their lessons and their instruction to play to those strengths. So with teachers like that, I often try to meet them where they're at. And one of my favorite questions to ask them is, what did you love so much about when you started teaching? What was it that motivated you to join this profession? Like, bring them back. And it just really, what is it that you love to do more than anything in the whole world? And whatever that is for that person, that individual, help them. It's kind of like creative. It's like a treasure hunt, and then it's like getting really creative in your art of coaching. But okay, so you love this and you're really good at this, and this is what motivated you way back when. Now let's put these two together and let's build your lesson around this, around what you're good at. And I think when they can see that, wow, I feel successful, and they just keep seeing that, and they see the kids motivated because they're motivated, their students are also going to be motivated. It kind of comes back together. It's not something that happens overnight, but you're doing a lot of things when you tap into their passions and their strengths. You're building relationships, and you're letting them know that I care about you as a person first, and then we're going to work on instruction later. So I'm not bringing them a bunch of data and telling them what I think they should do.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is it that makes you you? And let's use that awesomeness to help educate these kids. Because as soon as they can realize, tap into their own strengths and play to them, I think then they start tapping into their students' strengths and play to them. And that's when the whole thing just starts to move forward.